Good evening, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the YouTube live stream today. Happy to present the game plan for the upcoming week. This week promises to be a blockbuster week with a lot of catalysts um, to move the market. So, my name is welcome to tradingrich.com. My name is Richard Adjei, and I'm the co-founder and head trader here at Trading Rich, and I'm excited to present to you the game plan for the week of October 26th. And this week promises to be a very exciting week with a lot of catalysts. We have mega cap earnings. We have President Trump meeting with President Xi and the Asian leaders in South Korea this week. We also have, most importantly, we have the FOMC on Wednesday, which is going to be after that, after the FOMC rate decision announcement at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. There's going to be Chairman Powell's press conference, which is going to be done at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So there's a lot of catalysts this week, and I believe that this is the week where the market will finally hit, will make new all-time highs, get to a blow-off top, and then we can get the final stretch of the final rally. So I'm going to be presenting to you the game plan I have for this week, and I believe you guys are going to be gaining a lot from tonight's live stream. So if you are joining us for the first time, please put one in the chat, and also please share this link with your friends and family and anybody that is in the market. So today we are going to segment the live stream into three. So we are going to start with I'm going to talk about the stock market. I'm going to talk about crypto. I'm also going to talk about commodities as well. I'm going to talk about gold and silver, where they are going, and all that good stuff. So I'll check out here to see. So put in the chat where you are tuning in from today. Let me know which city you're tuning in from, which country you're tuning in from, so that we can say hi to you. Put that in the chat. Which city or country you're tuning in from today. So put in the chat which city you're tuning in from. Oh, okay, someone is tuning in from Australia. Awesome. Millie is tuning in from Perth, Australia. So we have someone all the way from Australia joining us live today. That's awesome. That's awesome. So please share the link with your friends and family, and then get them to join, because tonight's game plan is going to be a very important one, because we do have a lot of catalysts coming up, and I believe that the market we are going to get significant movements in the market this week. Newark, US, okay, awesome. Donald Trump's America, okay, that's good. So put in the chat which city you're tuning in from, and also if you made money last week, put money in the chat. Put money in the chat. Let me know if you made money last week. And if you didn't make money last week, this YouTube live is going to help you make money this week. So make sure you have your notes. Make sure you have your pens ready, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of golden nuggets in tonight's live stream. So yeah, so put in the chat if you made money last week trading. It could be trading, it could be swing trading, day trading, whatever it is, long-term investing. If you made money last week, if you closed green last week, or you made any kind of money, put money in the chat. Okay, so let's look at what's happening right now. So currently we have the US stock market, the futures are all green. The S&P futures is green, the Nasdaq is green, the Dow Jones futures is green, everything is green, right? Except gold and silver. So we can see there that there's a classic rotation of money, right? Liquidity is being moved from gold and silver. So a lot of people put money in gold and silver when President Trump tweeted about the tariffs situation. And then we saw a rapid rally in gold and silver. And I've done a lot of videos about it, talking about how gold is going to rally and also pull back. And after that, I also talked about how I expect to see liquidity move from gold and silver to risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto, and then also the stock market, especially the Nasdaq and the tech stocks. Okay, yeah. So what do we have this week? So let's start with the so last week we got a new all-time highs in the S&P 500, a new all-time highs in the Nasdaq. We also got IWM also made new all-time highs, and yeah, so we got a whole bunch of all-time highs last week. So we shall see if we can make new all-time highs this week, and I believe that this week is going to be an interesting one because there's a lot of catalysts that is going to move the market. If those catalysts are positive, then it's going to cause the market to move higher. But if they turn out to be negative, it's going to cause the market to sell. Okay, so let's look at some of the catalysts for this week. So, as you all know, we're still in the government shutdown. So, because we're in the government shutdown, all this economic data, we are not going to get any of them, right? None of them is going to be reported. I believe that maybe they might report this PC inflation data because they reported the other data last time. They reported the CPI, and the CPI came in lighter than expected. So I did a YouTube video on that on Thursday saying that I expect the CPI to come in light. So what I've realized is that every single time there's a Fed decision coming up, there is always the CPI number comes in light or favorable. Okay. So I believe that what is being done there is that they are forcing the Fed to cut interest rate, because if the CPI comes in hot, like higher than expected, it's going to cause the Fed not to cut interest rate. So because of that, I don't know what they do to the numbers, but I'm just speculating, because last time that we got that before the Fed rate cuts in September, we saw that the CPI came in light, and this one too came in light. So the expectation was, I believe it was 3.1, but it came in at 3.0, and that was better than expected, which caused the market to rally on Friday. Okay, so right now, what we have here is that what is the main event for this week in terms of from the economic front, right? Since we are not getting all this data, this is the main event of this week from an economic standpoint. That's interest rate cuts. That's FOMC, and then followed by Chairman Powell's press conference. So this press conference is going to be done at 2:30 p.m. and the market is expecting at least 25 basis point interest rate cut. It could be 50 basis point, but I believe they are going to go with 25 because 50 will be a little bit skeptical, because why are they cutting 50? Because they didn't even get the job numbers here, because the government has been shut down. The data in terms of unemployment data that they use to make decisions have not been received yet. So why are they cutting 50? Do they have the information? Is something getting worse in the economy? So that's something that the market is going to look at. But 25 basis point is what is expected, and I believe that they are going to go ahead to cut interest rate by 25 basis points this week. Okay, so that's the one from the economic front. Okay, so now let's go to CNN and look at what's going on there. So right now, the fear and greed index is showing that we are still fear. I believe that by the end of the week, we are going to move somewhere here to neutral or greed. And then as the final rally continues, in November. November is going to be, it's typically a very bullish month. So I believe that we are going to get more bullish momentum in the market into December. And then once we get into December, by December, we'll be at extreme grade. Okay. So what you have to know is that the market cannot crash if we are in fear, right? The market is only going to crash when we are at extreme greed and when there's extreme euphoria in the market. We've not gotten there yet. Bitcoin is even sleeping. Is just waking up now. So we need risk assets like Bitcoin to be trading at new all-time highs, everything trading at extreme highs before we are going to get a crash, right? So I believe that the crash is not here yet. We are not at the top yet. We still have some room to rally. However, in 2026, that's when I think that we are going to get that market decline, right? That's going to coincide with the U.S. economy going into a recession, right? Yeah, and 22 states in the U.S. are already in a recession. Those are smaller states, but once the U.S. economy goes into a recession, I believe that we are going to get that kind of global economic meltdown, but that's going to come in 2026. Not to worry right now. Right now, we are riding the wave to the upside in the final rally. Okay, so let's go to CNN home here, and let's see what they're saying. Let's check out this. Yeah. So here, this is the news that we have here. It says that US reaches substantial framework with China to avert tariffs. Okay. So if you're watching this YouTube channel, I've been talking about President Trump going to China, right? Going to the Asian region. I think he went to Malaysia today. He was dancing and stuff. He was in Malaysia, and now he's in I believe he's heading to South Korea or something, right? So that's where President Xi is going to meet him, and other Asian leaders are going to meet him there. I think he's going to meet with the leader of Japan as well. So I said that President Trump will not travel to Asia when there's no deal with China, right? Then that's going to be a waste of time. So what's going to happen is that President Trump is going there, and I believe that it's going to be a photo opportunity to sign the deal and get it done. So what you have to know is that all the trade deals, the biggest one of them all is the Chinese trade deal, the one with China, right? Because China is the number 2 economy, right? China is the only country that can, wrestle with the US and push them up, right? In terms of economic, when it comes to things to do with the economy, right? So once the China trade deal is done, that is the big fish. All the other countries will come in line. All the other countries are small compared to China. Okay, so I believe that there's going to be a deal, and once that deal comes, we are already seeing it in the futures market. The futures market is up tonight, and then we are already seeing it in the crypto market. Everything is going up, right? Because now there's that optimism in the market, right? And we are going to get to euphoria and peak euphoria moments, right? And that's why it's going to push the market to greater heights, and we are going to end the year on a high note. Okay, so here, my next thing to watch here is that what else is coming up. We also have earnings. Okay, so we have earnings coming up, and the earnings is going to be something that is also going to move the market. So if you've been following the market for some time now, you are going to realize that the market has been going up due to a few stocks, a few main stocks, especially those in the AI space. Those are the stocks that have been moving the market. So this week we are going to get mega tech earnings, and this earnings is going to be with the top stocks, the top companies that have moved the market. Okay, and the ones I'm going to be looking at, my main earnings that I'm going to be looking at is going to be Meta. So we have Meta platforms. We have Alphabet, we have Microsoft on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, it's going to be interesting because on Wednesday, we are going to get FOMC with Powell. FOMC decision after that Powell's press conference. And then we are going to get the mega cap earnings. In, when was it? I think it was July. Powell had a very hawkish FOMC press conference. After that, the market sold off, right? We got a significant sell in the market, only for the market to be rescued by earnings from Meta and Microsoft. So, assuming a situation where the FOMC comes in and Powell is sounding hawkish, imagine him sounding hawkish, and then from there we get the mega cap earnings from Meta and Microsoft and Alphabet, and all these earnings are good. We are going to get higher. The rally is going to continue. Okay, so on Wednesday, what I'm going to be looking at is that in all the three companies, I think Meta and Microsoft might be the ones that I believe they're going to beat, and that's going to help the Nasdaq and the S&P push up. Then we have on Thursday, we have Apple and Amazon. So Amazon has not been reliable these days, and it's not been trading well. I believe that maybe this earnings, they might prove themselves. They might produce good earnings after Prime Day and all that stuff that could help Amazon rally. So if Amazon rallies, with Apple, there's been rumors that the iPhone 17 has been a success in terms of sales in China and sales around the world. So that is something that if they talk about it, and if Apple is able to say something about AI, because Apple is lagging behind in the AI race. So if Apple is to come out and say, hey, we are doing some AI thing, or we've partnered with this company to accelerate our AI efforts, is going to send the market up, because Apple is the number 2 company in the world. And once they talk about AI, and because they are lagging in AI, everybody has been waiting to hear that from Apple. So in terms of big moves for earnings, the company that I'm watching closely is Meta. Meta always delivers good earnings, and when they deliver earnings, it leads to explosive moves. Okay, so we are going to check the charts for Meta to see where Meta is trading and project where Meta is going to go from here onwards. Okay, all right, good. So these are the main earnings that I'm going to be looking at. There's also Coinbase and MicroStrategy. These ones are going to be dependent on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is down, but it's not down that much. I think these companies are going to report good earnings. We shall see how that plays out. But these are the main earnings that I'm looking at, that I'm going to be watching closely with a keen eye. All righty. So now let's go to the charts, the technicals, right? Now we've talked about all the fundamentals, all the catalysts, all that good stuff. Let's go and talk about the technicals. So the technicals is the main part. Okay, technicals controls everything. So here we have, so I'll take you back to this chart here. So this is the chart of the S&P 500. Where are we right now? We are here at the top. So here, let's go back in time in history. So we check here. This is the pivot low, COVID low, bear market low of COVID low of 2020. We all remember COVID 2020, we were in the lockdown. And then we got this one here. We got 2022 bear market low. We got this low again in March 2023, October 2023 lows, and then Liberation Day, Trump tariffs lows. Okay, and so this is a parallel channel. When you move this, so this is, first of all, it starts with a trend line connecting these pivot lows. When you stretch it and extend it, it forms a parallel channel. Okay, and that parallel channel brings us to this high, 2021 bull market high. And then where are we now? We are at the 2025 bull market highs. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also introduce some new trend lines here to see where this is going. So here, this is 2023 lows. We connect this up here to this area. This is where we are right now. Okay, and this does not include the futures market trading right now. So by tomorrow, I expect us to be gapping up above this level, because right now we are trading at, what's the S&P trading at? Let me check the futures market. Futures market is trading at, Okay, so we are up by 47 points. We are trading at 68. Oh, this is a big rally. Trading at 68 settings. We are trading at 68, 6874. Or let's say 6875. Something like that. You're trading here. So this is where we are trading at. So that means that we are going to get a gap up above this trend line. So a gap up above this trend line means that this trend line, which used to be a resistance, is going to act as support. Okay. So then where is the S&P moving from here down now? Where is it going to move? So we are going to connect. If you look at this, you're going to see this here. We have this trend line here as well. So that is I believe this is 2020, July 2024 and December highs. If you connect the two, 1, 2, 3, it brings us here. So that's the next target for the S&P. So we'll be trading somewhere here. We'll be trading above this. We'll be trading above this trend line, this 2023 trend line. And then we are going to be trading in between here. So the immediate target is going to be, I've said it from beginning of the year that S&P was going to go to 7,000. So I believe that that's going to bring us to somewhere around 7,000, right? 7,000 here. And I believe that's where we might top out. And if there's still momentum, we can still push up and go higher. But in the short term, this is where I expect S&P to go to, around 7,000. So let's put that here, 7,000. 7,000 will be somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here. 7,000 to somewhere here. So I expect the S&P to go somewhere here. Okay. So that's why I think that we might top off, or we might even get to 7,500. Who knows? Even 8,000, right? Who knows? Once we get to the peak euphoria moment, we can just push and break. But if the S&P is able to hold this October, this 2023 low from October 2023 and hold it as support, it has room to push up. It has the momentum to push up. Okay. So that's where I see us going in the short term, right? That is, if I say short term, from now to the end of the year, we should be at 7,000, right? We are now at 6,800. We should go to 7,000 by the end of the year. Okay. All right. So that's where I see the S&P going. All right, so now let's go to the SPY. Let's check out the SPY here. So we've checked out S&P. Let's check out, so S&P is the same as SPY. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Let's do that with the QQQ here. So the QQQ is currently, so QQQ, we are going to get a gap up here. So right now we have, what's the Nasdaq trading? Let me check. It's 226. So that's about 5 points and some change. So if we add 5 points to this, we are going to get something like, it's 23, right? Somewhere here, 623. That's where we are. So this is where we'll be trading if the market is open right now, the red line. That's where we'll be trading. So this is taking us to like a new all-time highs, and that means that we've broken out of this trend line here. We are gone, and we will be pushing up from here onwards. So what I'm looking at is that for the Nasdaq has made new all-time highs, so we'll be trading somewhere here tomorrow. That's going to be like a gap up. And what I'll see happen is that with this gap up, what might happen is that with all the news coming up, we can have that gap up, like we can have like a candle like this. We have a candle like that, like tomorrow, like maybe a green candle of this sort, like a green candle. Let's see here. We have a green candle like this. And then what happens is that we maybe fade it out. We fade it out and come back and retest here. So it's going to be come back here, retrace to the scene of the crime, and then take off from there. So there will be some kind of retracement. I don't think we'll come back and fill this gap that is going to be created. I don't think we're going to come back and fill it right now, but it could be. You never know. It could be sometime in the future, right? But not now. I think that we are going to maybe pull back and wait for Powell's press conference on Wednesday. If it's positive, then we take off from there. And then that's also going to coincide with Meta and Microsoft earnings. So if those guys come in good, then we'll take off from there. So I believe that this can be faded out tomorrow. We have this move, and then buy the rumor, sell the news, like with the whole China situation. Then we get a pullback, and we get a pullback into this. Maybe we even close red tomorrow, small red, and then we pull back and wait for Tuesday. Tuesday, we get a red day, and then Wednesday, we wait for Powell and the earnings. If they are good, then we push up and make new all-time highs. So something like that. So something that's the price action I'm looking for this to happen. And then based on that, we'll see where price is trading and stuff. But right now, the SPY, QQQ, they are all at all-time highs anyways, right? So we are going to get into a situation called price discovery. Anytime we don't have any resistance, we are going to get into price discovery for these tickers, okay? All right, so let's look at the other one, DIA. DIA also made all-time highs, new all-time highs. That was last week. So that one too is going to continue going up. The one that I'm most interested in this week is IWM, because IWM is the ETF that tracks the Russell, and the Russell is where you have the small cap stocks. These stocks have struggled a lot. They finally, the IWM finally made all-time highs, and I believe that these stocks still has room to rally, and with the interest rate cuts coming, it's going to favor small caps. And I believe that by the end of the week, we are going to make a new all-time highs on this. Maybe we'll be trading at 270, 260 something. Who knows, right? So here with these ones, I expect to see price go up higher for the IWM. And we shall see that happen in the days ahead here, once the interest rate cut comes in and is good. Okay. All right. So now that we've gone through the stocks and stuff, let's go through what is happening in crypto land, right? Let's look at what is happening in crypto land, right? So crypto is, first of all, let's start with Bitcoin. Let's start with Bitcoin. So we start with the main cryptocurrency, the number one cryptocurrency. All right. So last week, I told you guys that Bitcoin was going to bounce. And there we are. Bitcoin, what did Bitcoin do? It bounced, right? Exactly to the T. Bounced on that Friday. I told you guys it was going to continue and it's going to hold this 200. It is doing so right now. So we finally got that bounce. I believe that this is the week where Bitcoin will finally wake up. It was sleeping last week. It's going to wake up this week and then take off. So where are we going with Bitcoin? So let's look at Bitcoin closely. Let me go to the weekly. So I've been talking about this mother of all trend lines for Bitcoin from 2017. Bitcoin cannot make new all-time highs until it breaks this mother of all trend lines. You might not hear it on social media and other places, people selling hype and stuff. It cannot make new all-time highs until it breaks this mother of all trend lines. And the technical reason why Bitcoin might close the year at maybe 150,000 or even higher is that it will break clear of this mother of all trend lines. The reason is that there's a lot of shorts. There's a whole bunch of guys shorting this. So when you have people who are genuinely buying, right, buying into Bitcoin to get the price up, plus those that are shorting it, are under the water, who have to cover, short covering, meaning that they have to go in and buy more Bitcoin and stuff to close their position. Then what's going to happen is that we are going to get a short squeeze, right? So that short squeeze can bring Bitcoin to somewhere here. See here? Look at that. around 149,000 or 150,000. That's the only way Bitcoin is going to get to that level once we break this mother of all trend line. But before then, it's going to try to break it. And I believe that this time around, we might get it to break. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times, right? So the next time it comes here is going to be like the 7th or 6th time that it's touching here. And that's going to be 80% probability of it breaking that level. 70 to 80% probability that it's going to break it. I believe that this time around it's going to break it. And that's how Bitcoin is going to make new all-time highs. So with that in mind, let's go to the daily time frame to see what's happening there. And let's forecast and project where Bitcoin is going. So the forecast of Bitcoin is that my forecast is that by the end of the week, Bitcoin will be trading around 120,000, 121. Here, you see here we have this called a volume profile, right? So when you have like volume as a function of price, so here we have what is called price imbalance, and this price imbalance was formed due to that Friday sell-off, right? Look at it, that Friday sell-off. So that Friday sell-off, we have these red candles all over. These red candles have to be filled by green candles, right? So that is what is going to fill the price imbalance. So we are going to come here. Once we get to 121, we are going to get that pullback. It's going to consolidate a bit, and then it's going to push up and go back to this area, 126. That was the highs before the sell-off, okay? And that was the previous all-time highs. So previous all-time highs is here. But because of this, you see this hole here, it needs to fill it, right? Once it fills this gap, this is why I say it's going to go to 121. So from now to sometime this week, I don't know, sometime this week, Bitcoin will be trading at 121,000 or even 122. It can overshoot, but my target for Bitcoin is 121. Okay, all right. So if Bitcoin is going to 121, how do we play this in the stock market? How do we play this in the stock market? So what I will tell everyone here is that I am going to play Bitcoin using IBIT. IBIT is a Bitcoin ETF. So this is a BlackRock ETF that tracks Bitcoin. So anytime Bitcoin goes up, this one goes up. So it's just not a leverage ETF or anything. This is just a regular ETF. So what I'm going to do is that I know that I believe Bitcoin is going to go to all-time highs again. So my goal is to be in the trade for the longest time. I don't want to go in and be going out, coming out, going on. No. I want to stay in for some time. Staying until Bitcoin gets to new all-time highs, etc. So over here, I like IBIT. So IBIT, you can get $65 calls expiring November, sometime in November, or you can even get December. If you don't want, just buy December. Forget about it. Allow it to play out. One Bitcoin gets to all-time highs, you go and take some profit. I mean, you can take profits along the way, but $65 calls, this one can get the job done December 19th, or you can even get something in January 2026 if you want that too as well. January 2026 is going to be $5, or you can also get November. So whichever one you can afford, just get that one. November 21st, $65 cost. This one is like $2. So a whole bunch of guys are buying it. So I have bought this one. I'm already in this position for November 21st. I bought it here on this Friday. So I've been riding it up. It pulled back. I've not sold I've not sold even one contract. I'm still holding this. This is 10% already, almost 10% move. But it pulled back and it's confirming. So with this move in Bitcoin tomorrow, I expect Bitcoin to be trading somewhere here. Once Bitcoin clears fills this gap, like it's able to fill this gap here, it's a gap here, and then the gap here is going to take off and go. So my goal is to ride this up to this area, 72. That's going to be coincide with the previous all-time high for Bitcoin, and then we are going to hold some runners to run the rest. I'll probably get other contracts where I can ride it to 2026, or I can ride it to December 2025. So if you believe in crypto, believe in Bitcoin and things, this is how you can play it in the stock market. Okay. So next, let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum is the ETF for Ethereum is the wallet. It's like number 2 cryptocurrency. Recently I checked, Ethereum is not even number 2 anymore. There's some new things that are there. Anyways, I still consider Ethereum to be number 2. So here, so what happened to Ethereum? So again, let's go back and check the charts. So we can see here that the last time we reviewed this, I talked about Ethereum respecting this Liberation Day lows. This trend line has been holding it so far. So this is the line in the sand for Ethereum, right? If Ethereum, for any reason, any time during the year, it comes and it breaks this trend line, then it's going to go down, right? But for now, it hasn't broken it. It came, it touched it, and respected it. And I talked about this in the last live stream. I talked about Ethereum bouncing here, and it has done exactly that. And we have this parallel channel, bull flag parallel channel. So you see that Ethereum went up, it came up here, down, right? So now it has reached the 50% range of the parallel channel, and it's pushing up. So this is a clear move. This is going to move clearly to this area, like to the highs. And then once it gets there, it needs to find a way to break out. If it can break it out, then we are going to get to previous all-time highs first, and then we are going to get to new all-time highs. I believe that eventually Ethereum is going to come to that $5,000 mark, right? Because that $5,000 mark, it's been struggling. It's been struggling to get to that level, but I think that finally is going to hit that level sometime soon. Maybe this month or maybe in November, right? If it can make it this month, it's going to make it in November, okay? So that's why I want to see here on Ethereum. So how do you play Ethereum? If knowing this, how do you play it? How I'm going to play it is I'm going to use the ETF, Ethereum ETF. So there are a number of them. So I like this one, ETHA. This one, ETHA. So this is like just a regular ETF. So it's calling so far, held 100. So it's calling so far. I believe that is going to push. So if you can get like $30 calls or $35 calls, something like that. Buy time on it because Ethereum sometimes can be finicky, right? So just buy time on it, and then you can hold it, right? Again, there's no financial advice. This is just educational purposes, right? You can do it in a paper account. You can do it whatever you want, but I'm just giving you the ideas, and then you can make them your own, right? It's not financial advice. I mean, I'm telling you what I'm using my money to do, okay? So you can follow through, you can do the same thing, but I'm not providing financial advice here. So here, what it is that November 28th, $30 cost is not bad. You can get this, or you can get something like December, this one here, and just allow it to ride. If Ethereum gets to all-time high, so 5K, you can come and take your profit, right? Also, there's also the leverage ETF for Ethereum. I believe it's ETHU, is it? Yeah, ETHU, this one. So ETHU is the leverage ETF. So this one is more volatile in terms of if Ethereum moves up by 1%, this one moves up by 2%. So if you want something a little bit more, if you want to spice up your wins and stuff, and also you can also spice up your losses as well, you have to be careful with this, but this is also another one that you can get. You can get a leverage ETF for Ethereum and ride it to the upside in this move, okay? Usually I like buying leverage ETF when we have extreme declines, right? Like what we had on that Friday 2 weeks ago. You get a leverage ETF when it's very, very low and then ride it up. But this is still good. It's still valid. You can still buy that, okay? All right, so now let's go to the now that we know where Ethereum is going, let's check the other one, Solana. Where is Solana? It's crypto. Solana. I think it's this one. Okay, it's not showing me my chart here. Solana USD. Anyway, I got it. So here we have. So when you go to the weekly time frame for Solana, This is Solana's weekly time frame. If you look at this, you can see that it has held the 50-week simple moving average. If you look at this, you see that we have a clear trend line here. So here, this is the low for Liberation Day. This is the low from June 16th, week of June 16th. We pierced it on that Monday. On that, pierced it on this Monday, October 6th week, and then we held. So even the sell-off that happened on that Friday, October 10th, we still held this trend line. So this trend line is critical for this stock, right? This crypto. So I see also here, I see a parallel channel. Let me try to see if I can get it to work. Let's see here. Connect here. So I have the trend line. And then when I pull it up, I get something like this, right? So that's a parallel channel. So anytime you have a parallel channel confirms your trend line. It means that your trend line is valid. Okay? It means that the trend line is valid. So here, this is a weekly time frame. If I go to the daily, we can clearly see how it's behaving. So here you see, price came here, Liberation Day low, it bounced, it went up, it wasn't able to break above the 200 SMA on the daily, came back down, it respected this, pushed up, and then it's still doing the same thing here. The same way here. You see, even though we pierced through this on Friday, due to the trade war, Trump tweets and stuff about rare earth metals and stuff about China, we did not break below the parallel channel. So the parallel channel was respected, meaning that the candle closed above it, meaning that this is well respected. Okay. So here, what did he do? We held the 200. So as long as we don't break below here, this stuff is valid. This is going to go. So I like where Solana is trading now. And Solana is not even at the 50% range of the parallel channel. So you see these dashed lines? This is the 50% range of the parallel channel, meaning that this still has room to go. It has to come here first, then here, next resistance, and then here. So where is Solana going? I believe Solana can come all the way to 253 somewhere here. Right, it could come all the way to 253. So if you add it, that's about 50 points from here. So how do we play this? How do we play this in the stock market? So how I'm going to play it is that I'm going to use Solana ETF. This one. I think they only have the leverage ETF, I believe, this one. So I'm going to use the leverage ETF to trade this. SOLT. Which means that, so I'm going to get the options for this. I'm going to get something. I'm going to buy time. Oh, this one is so he's even making your work easy. So here you have the closest strike you can get, expiry you can get is November 21st. So you can get the November 21st one, like $20 calls here. So at least we can push up once Solana is pushing up. Use the parallel channel as your guide. Once it gets to certain targets, you sell, you pay yourself, take profit. But I'll buy more time, right? For me, I'll buy more time. I'll buy something even in 2026. Yeah, this one. Or I'll buy this one, right? This one. Any of these two should work. So buy time, allow it to play out. I know that crypto can be, sometimes it sells, it comes back, that kind of thing. So, but I like this parallel channel, right? This is a very nice trade, high probability trade where we can push. At least if we can get it to 229, you are going to make a lot of money from that. And then here, okay? So that's how I'm going to trade this using my own money. And next one I'm going to watch is XRP. XRP is this, XRP. Let's see if I can get it to work. Okay, perfect. So XRP, let's look at the weekly time frame again. So we can clearly see what's happening here with XRP. So if you are a technician, you clearly see what's happening here. As a technical analysis trader, I look at this and say, okay, I see that price is respecting this a weekly time frame, and this red line is the 50 simple moving average, right? So it means that price is respecting this 50 SMA very well and is bouncing, right? So you see that even on the Liberation Day, on the October 10th sell-off, Let me go to the daily. On this day, we still came back up, and then we held this 50. So that means that this 50 SMA support is acting as support, right? Support indicator is really very strong and is valid. Okay, and we are seeing that. So today we are seeing that green candle that's wiped out this, meaning that we have more upside. We have more upside to this. So if I go to the daily, where do I see this going to? I see this once it's able to remount. So over here, I see something looking like a trend line here. So over here, you have this trend line here that's holding. So if we can get this to remount, trade above the 50, then we have chance of this pushing up, right? We have a chance for this pushing up. So we have this here. We have this pushing up. So we can get this to push, and we are going to come somewhere here. So yeah, give or take, I think we can get XRP when the Bitcoin and things are rallying to come to $3 sometime soon. So yeah, if it comes to the top here, $2.90, we can get that push to that place. Okay. All right. So that is for crypto. And again, if you want to trade the stock market for this XRP, there's also a leverage ETF for XRP now, XRPT, this one. So you can buy this ETF, leverage ETF for XRP, and then track XRP if you like XRP, right? Okay, so you can look at the option chain here. They have different ones. It's November 21, and you can buy it and you can hold it. Okay, I'm not getting XRP. I like Solana, I like Ethereum, and then I like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I'm going to use IBIT. Ethereum, I'm going to use ETHA, and Solana, I'm going to use the leverage ETF for that. Okay, so now let's go to the commodities, right? Let's go to commodities. Let's go to gold. What's happening to gold? Almighty gold. What's happening to gold? So those in our community, I talked about liquidity is essentially money moving from gold and silver to risk assets like Bitcoin, and then we have all those tech stocks in the Nasdaq, right? That's coming to the stock market because on the day that the market sold up, that was here. What day was that? October. That was a Friday. Yeah, October 17, on 17, the day that President Trump tweeted. It was here, I think. It's here. October 10, when everything was selling off, gold was green. And we saw that like in places like Australia, in Sydney, Australia, there were I read in the news that I saw people were queuing, right, to buy gold. And the place that they wanted to buy the gold, the place was like, they said the gold was even like, they ran out of gold. So you see that people like to buy things when it's high. When gold was trading at lows, nobody wanted it. But now that gold is rallying at all-time highs, you now see people queuing long lines for hours to buy gold. Anytime you see that, it should tell you that that's the time when you are going to get a pullback. So as technical analysis traders, we don't use sentiment. We don't use what's it called? FOMO. We don't trade by FOMO. We trade based on the charts, right? So you see right now, I'm telling you guys that Bitcoin is about to go up. So we position ourselves, we make money from it. When Bitcoin makes new all-time highs, it's going to come in the news. Bitcoin, what's it called? CNBC. Bitcoin made the number one cryptocurrency, made new all-time highs. Then you're going to see people jumping in. That's the time where I'll be selling. Okay, so that is why you have to educate yourself. You have to learn, right? Education is very important so that you don't be FOMOing when things are at all-time high. So that's what's happening to these guys. These guys are bought gold. Well, gold eventually will work out and stuff, but I'm just saying that people like to buy things when everybody's chasing. For me, as a technical analysis trader, I buy when everybody's fearful. and I sell when everybody's happy. That's my thinking. That's how I do this stuff. Okay, so here we see that gold has pulled back. It has pulled back to this area here, which is the 20 SMA, and I believe that is back. So here, this is a bear flag. So we are going to see more selling for gold. So you see this here. Those that have taken our course, this is called a clearing bearish engulfing candle. Typically, when you get a clearing bearish engulfing candle, it tells you that you have 90% follow-through rate or 90% probability that you're going to get more red candles to the downside. What happened? We are getting more red candles, right? But it's not done yet. So here, this is a bear flag. So this is your flagpole. And this area here is your flag right here, this area here. So you can get this area here, this one here, like this. This is your flagpole, right? So far, this is your flag. So far, we are breaking it. You are breaking the flag to the downside. I can make it yellow so that it's easier for you guys to see it. Easier on the eye. Let's change the color to yellow. This one. Oopsie. Let's change the color to yellow. Move this aside. This is yellow here. So we see here. Yeah, so this is the yellow. So this is your pole. And now we have this here. So we need the break below this. So if you break below this here, this yellow line here, we are going to go down. And that's going to be a break below the 20. If you break below the 20, we are going to come, it's going to open the floodgates. We can come all the way down here. All the way down here, right? So I believe that for me, if this, I'm going to be positioning myself short here for gold to short it to the downside and to capture the move here to this area. So once it gets here, I'll take off my trade and then I'll look to reevaluate to see if I can, reverse to the upside or is it going to continue to the downside. But here, I'm just pointing out to you guys, this is a bear flag. So if this is a bear flag, then how do we trade it? We can trade it using the GLD. GLD, this is the ETF for gold, right? GLD. So far, gold looks like it wants to hold by its red right now. The last time I checked, let me check again if it's still red. Let me check the futures market to see if it's still red. Yeah, gold is still red. It's down by 48 points. So I believe that this is going to open red and maybe it's going to be a gap down. We shall see how it's going to trade. But once it trades below here, once we break below this purple line, we are going to head down. Okay, so you can trade it, you can short it using GLD once we break and close below this 20 SMA on the daily. Okay, all right. So the next one is silver, SLV, silver ETF, silver. So silver too is putting in a bear flag, right? Silver too is putting in a bear flag here. Silver is also putting in a bear flag. So we see here that silver is also this one is even very, 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 very clear. Okay, so we have here, so this from here to here is the flagpole, and then from here, this and this. Oops, I didn't want to draw a line. Take this off. And this is your flag, right? If price is able to, that's your flag here, this one. So if price is able to break below this, we are going to head down here. So I see price coming here to this area, down to this area. So that's why I see silver coming to. Okay, so that's how I see. So silver, also going to short silver, SLV, using the ATF of silver. So I'll buy put options to the downside and short this. And for gold, I'll buy put options as well and short this to the downside. So yeah, so that's how we are going to play it. All right, so now that we've gone through the major indices, the BTC, crypto and commodities. Let's now go into my top high probability setups for the week in terms of stocks. So the first one I have here is Netflix. I told you guys last week that Netflix was setting up a bear flag and it was going, the earnings might be a sell-off. So we got that exactly. Boom, look at that. Sort of, man. Look at that, sort of. So here I'm looking at the weekly. So I go to the weekly time frame. I check to see pattern recognition, right? So as a technician, you should be able to identify patterns. So you see here, last time, you see here that this is the weekly time frame. This was 2023. The last time Netflix came all the way to the 50-week simple moving average, it was 2023. And here it came close to it. It couldn't touch it. It kissed it. It came close to it. And then here to here, near or close to it. So 1, 2, 3 is coming here again. This time around, we are going to see if it can hold. I think it's going to hold. And if it doesn't, there's this key support level. This one was the previous all-time highs in February 2025. It's going to hold here, and then we are going to get that bounce. So Netflix still has some downside. At least it's going to come to, it can lose about 40 points, 50 points to this area, and then that's a place where it can bounce. So here, this is an area where it has a high probability to bounce. So I'm going to be watching to see how it reacts to this area, and then we are going to look to reverse and get along, right? So with Netflix, these days the stock price and option price is very expensive. You can get the leverage ETF NF something, this one, NF and flu, this one. This is the double leverage ETF. So once it comes down to that 50-week simple moving average and it holds, you can look to buy the long there and ride it up, right? And ride it up. So that's Netflix's first one. My next one is, since I see crypto going up and Bitcoin and things going up and stuff like that, I like this Bitcoin related stock. I mean, they mine Bitcoin and they also data, they're also into AI. They are also into AI as well. So I believe Irene chart is, I can't believe Irene is trading at $74. This was a stock that we were trading last year at last year around, I was trading at $13 and stuff. Look at where Irene is trading today. This is a parabolic move. Okay, this technical analysis is called parabolic move. This is a big squeeze. So this company also has data center, right? Something to do with AI as well. So they are crypto and AI combo. So you know that crypto and AI is moving this market, and you join crypto to it. So that's how you see this explosive move in Irene. Okay, so here Irene stuff is very simple. It's a very simple trade. So here we have this downsloping trend line. We broke above it on Friday. So what Irene needs to do, I think Irene will open green at pre-market with everything going up, Bitcoin going up. This is going to push up. So I believe that Irene is going to push tomorrow. Irene should be trading at $70. Who knows by end of tomorrow. And give or take by end of the week, we should be trading at 74 at all-time highs. I still can't believe Irene is trading at $74. It's insane. It's crazy. So here, Irene could make new all-time highs this week if the market stays strong and continues pushing up. So this is a crypto-related play. So if Bitcoin is going up, continues going up, this one is going to do well as well. Next one I'm going to look at is, this one. So those in our swing trading service, this is the fan favorite, CoreWeave. So CoreWeave has a lot of, so let me take this off. CoreWeave has a lot of, so they are into AI, like, data center and cloud computing, all these kind of things. So CoreWeave has a lot of partnership with NVIDIA, with OpenAI, with all these AI companies, right? And I believe that with the AI trade still in play, where everything looking to go up and rally, I believe that CoreWeave is also going to benefit from that. So if you look at this, this has been, pushing up. So we have here, this our low, this IPO low of IPO, after IPO, this IPO launch. The low of this is $33. And then this is your higher low, and it's on a higher low. So we are moving in an uptrend. So here I see that we were able to hold this trend line, this intersection of trend line, right? This I call it a bow tie trend line. It held it, and then we are pushing. So far, we are be able to clear all these moving averages. I believe that is going to break out from here this week. So by Monday, when all is said and done, I believe that CoreWeave will be trading at 140 or higher. So I like CoreWeave. I'm already in a position in here. We already have a position here. I took this trade on Friday, and we're going to ride it up to the upside. I believe that the big move for CoreWeave have not come yet. It's yet to come. If you go to the weekly, you see here, this is a hammer. This hammer candle, right, on the weekly. So this hammer candle, as long as we don't close below this hammer candle, this has room to push. And by the time you see, CoreWeave will be trading at all-time highs in no time. Okay, so this is one of the stocks that I'm watching this week for a takeoff on Monday. Another one, which is also crypto related, which we traded nicely, was Robinhood. So Robinhood is one of those stocks that I like. We traded that in the swing trading service. We caught the move to the upside last week, and it was really, really nice. Okay, so let's look at Robinhood. Let's go to this chart here. Let's look at Hood. So if we look at Hood, we held this parallel channel, and then we broke above this. You see this volume gap, we filled it very fast, and we are trading above here. So if this can hold and trade and close above, so you see here, oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? That's why I like technical analysis. So you see here, this is a weekly time frame. This here came and held this trend line, right? So this is a parallel channel, and it held this channel, the support of the parallel channel here, and then it's trading. So once it came to this 140, that 140 was the 50% range of the parallel channel. That's why it pulled back here, right? Because that also acting as resistance. So what we need to do is that we need to break above this dash line. You see this 50% range, break above the dash line, and when we push to the top here. So this thing, Hood is going to be trading at all-time highs very soon here. I believe they have earnings coming up on the 12th or on the 4th, something like that. They might post good earnings, and by then we should get new all-time highs for this. So if you go to the daily chart, this is what we see here. We are curling nicely, and we have a price imbalance here. So this can go to 146 by the end of this week, 146 or even higher, right? It can even go higher. So this another stock that I'm looking at for this week as well. Okay. And it was also crypto related. If Bitcoin is going up, Robinhood will go up because Robinhood buys and sells Bitcoins and stuff. Another one, which is a crypto, not crypto, this is a semiconductor stock. ARM. So ARM is an interesting one. Because if you take off here, you see that ARM has this big base. And if you look at this is a trend line here. See this? There's a trend line here. And then if you look at this as well, there's another trend line here as well. Okay. So these two trend lines are intersecting. So if you're able to clear this area, this weekly highs at 180, we can go to make all-time highs. And this thing can be trading at 190 in no time. So I like this for a breakout play. As long as it breaks here, breaks above this trend line, and this zone here is going to push up. All right. Okay. So another one that I'm looking at is Oklo. Oklo came back down to earth again. This one, Once you see a topping tail candle after an extreme move to the upside, you know that the party is over temporarily, right? The party is over. The police is here. They said you are making too much noise. It's time to close the party, right? That's what happened to Oklo here. So here we saw this run, and it came all the way down. I believe that is looking to reverse here, and if it's able to trade above these moving averages, it's going to go. The trades above this moving average is going to go, and it's going to come here. This is going to be an area, because this is a trend line. This is a trend line that it held, and if this is going to act as resistance, so a move from here to here is going to be good. And then once it gets here, it's going to think about pushing up. Then we have the gap fill at 158. Then it can dream to go up again. So Oklo is making a reversal, and I believe that it still has room to push up from here after this sell. Okay. All right. So now that we've gone through all these, let's also look at some of the popular names, like the king of the market, NVIDIA. So the king of the market is NVIDIA, right? So we have this trend lines here. We have this one here from Liberation Day low. We made that push to the downside, making a recovery. So this area here is going to act as resistance for NVIDIA. This area is going to act as resistance. This 190 area. So if price comes here, it might bump its head into this and pull back a bit and then push it. If NVIDIA is able to remount and go trade above 190, it's going to come back into this rising wedge pattern and try to push and make new all-time highs, right? But it's not there yet. It still has to navigate this 190 level. And these two, the trend line and this horizontal line, are intersecting. So it's going to be like a bow tie, like a very tight area to break. So a push there, consolidate and push up might help NVIDIA, right? Or it might just pull back a bit. Another one that is a AI fan favorite is retail favorite is Palantir. So Palantir, I believe that Palantir is going to, if you go the weekly, this is setting out for a big breakout, right? So let me go to, let's check the earnings. Let's check when these guys have their earnings. PLTR. PLTR has their earnings. That's not this week, first week of November. I believe that Palantir is poised to go to $200 post earnings, right? $200 post earnings. So let's look at that. $200 post earnings. Palantir is looking to go there. $200 post earnings. Yeah, $200. So this is going to break out. I don't know if it's going to start this week. It might start this week before the earnings, because everything is going up. So this one is also going to go up. So this is looking for a breakout play. So here, this can do something like this. You can get a big green candle. This is a weekly time frame, by the way. So everything here is going to be 5 days of action. So we can get something like this, right? That's a breakout. So here, this is a bull flag. It's flagging here. This is your flagpole, and that's your flag. And we are going to break out of the flag, and it's going to go. So Palantir is a good one for a move from now to earnings. We can see a move to like 200 before earnings. All right. So there's this one that I also wanted to flag. I think I've flagged it here a number of times on this YouTube live. Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk is a pharmaceutical company, and they are into all these weight loss drugs, and it's become very, very popular. They are trading at lows. So when something is trading at extreme lows, that is when I like to buy leverage ETFs on them. Was it Novo? There's this ETF of it. I've forgotten what it is. Let me see if I can find it. I have it on my watch list. Novo, NOVO. So there's a leverage ETF for Novo. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Forgotten the ticker. Novo Nordisk. Where is it? Not this one. Yeah, I can't seem to find it. I'm looking for it, but I can't seem to find it. But I can get a leverage ETF for this, so you can set for it. That can be your homework. Set for the leverage ETF for this Novo Nordic, and that's going to help you to capture this move, because I believe that this thing, when at some point we are going to get a big breakout on this, because it's been selling off. And I believe that is looking to reverse to the upside. Okay. And next one is HIMS. So I've been watching him. So HIMS has a particular setup that it likes to do. So if you look at this HIMS, right? Let me take off all the lines. So you see that HIMS always likes the 200 SMA. You see that? Look at this. This is from October 2024. First time, second time, third time, and this is the fourth time. Okay. So here, this one was in. So I caught this movie. Those that was in our live Zoom calls. Those times caught this move. We also caught this one. This other move here. Last time we did that, we caught this move. So we've been catching moves on this HIMS, and I believe that it's also bottomed again. It's looking to take off again. So here, if HIMS can clear this moving averages congestion, HIMS is going to go. It can make, like, we can get HIMS $50 calls, and that's going to be something that is going to push to the upside, right? So HIMS, I like this setup because this pattern recognition setup. Those are the setups that you want to be watching and trading, right? Because they're high probability trades. Okay. All right. So now that we're done with the main story, we are going to look at small caps. I have some nice small caps here. One of them is Bull, right? Bull. So Bull Bull. I like Bull because this is a low risk trade, right? If you look at this. This is the all-time low for Bull, is at around $9. Below this is all-time low. And this is where Bull is trading. Right. So with Bull, I believe that Bull is ready to go up, and it could come to $15 or $16 in no time. And I was checking the option chain, and then the tape and options flow. Somebody bought $35 calls of Bull. So what I'm doing is that, based on the technicals, it's a high probability trade and it's a low risk trade. So I like to get, so I'm already in Bull $16 calls, right? So Bull $16 calls expiring, $16 calls expiring November 21st, right? To capture that kind of move. So here, if you're able to push, I believe this is going to push and break out and push up to the upside. So Bull is one of the stocks that I'm watching for this week to see if we can get a move. And then with the interest rate cuts coming, stocks like this are going to benefit. The small caps are going to benefit as well. Another one that I'm watching related to Meta's earnings is Snapchat. So Snapchat have their earnings, I believe, in November, but Meta has their earnings coming up. So let's look at Meta. So Meta is a stock that I believe that once the earnings come, Meta will be trading, could be trading at all-time highs or a couple of days after. And we see this move here, this breakout is about to happen, and they have earnings coming up on Wednesday. So from now to Wednesday, after the earnings, I believe that Meta will be trading at maybe, who knows, like 800 or something, right? We shall see. We shall see how that plays out. So with that in mind, usually stocks in the same sector or in the same area move together. So if Meta does well, then I believe that Snapchat is also going to do well. Snapchat is no Meta, right? Yeah, I consider it as a garbage company, right? It's no Meta. It's not like Meta, right? But Snapchat is trading at lows, and it's a very high probability trade here because the risk is very low. Like, how low can this go? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So if Snapchat is able to break above this $8 level, it can squeeze to the upside. We can get Snapchat to be trading at $10. So this one, because it's very tiny, a small move is going to be like 20%, 30% move on the stock. So Snapchat is a stock that I'm going to position myself to get and use it to ride the wave for Meta. I already have a meta trade already, but I want to write this out because I like the setup. The setup is a high probability trade. My stop is going to be below here, below 699 will get me out. But this is a high probability setup that I think that is going to push up and get that big breakout very soon. Okay. And last but not the least is it's not last, but I have this stock here that I've been watching, and on social media, a lot of folks on Reddit and stuff, Wall Street boys, everybody at Wall Street bets, sorry, not Wall Street boy, Wall Street bets are chasing this. So this one here could do a beyond meat kind of move. Okay, this can do a beyond meat here. You see beyond meat, you see this big move on beyond meat, that move from what's it called, $1 to $7, 700%. This stock can do that. And I did a little bit of digging from this stock here. I realized that is a Bitcoin treasury. Now everybody is a treasury. Ethereum treasury, Bitcoin treasury, this treasury, that treasury. Fine. But so which means that if they have about, I believe they have about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin or something. If I'm not mistaken, they have about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. So if that's the case, then if Bitcoin goes up like how Bitcoin is going up right now, as we saw, then it's going to help this push up. And this has a solid base. You see, the last time it did this, if you look at this, it consolidated for several days, and then it did this big spike. Look left. Look at the numbers on the left. That is what? 1,359%. Okay, that was in 1 week. So if we can get a move, so again, this is heavily shorted, so it's going to lead to a short squeeze. If you can get a move like this from $1 something to even 400%, this is going to go crazy. Okay, so how do I play this? I'm going to play this using options, but I'm going to put a small amount into it because this kind of stocks are not that valuable. It's like a penny stock. So if you're trading it, you want to be careful because sometimes there's no volume for you to sell to. But I see here that there's a lot of volume. If you look at this, we have 43,000 volume buying this at $5 calls, $5 per share per contract. Okay, and then if you look at this, so I'd like to get something that is maybe November 14th here at, you can get the $2 calls. Like $2 calls is not bad, and you can hold it and ride the wave to the upside once the breakout comes. So this is the small cap that I'm watching. I'm going to be watching this closely for this short squeeze. So this is the type of trade where if it works out and you're in the right place, right time, you can be flipping $100 to 10K or 20K in a short period of time, right? Because of the short squeeze once everybody FOMO in and gets it. Okay, right. All right. So with President Trump going to China, meeting with Chinese president, we also have to talk about Chinese stocks. I almost forgot about them. So Chinese stocks, I am already in BABA. So Chinese stocks that I'm watching is BABA. If you look at this, here, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, boom, we are going to break out here for BABA. So with BABA, it likes to move overnight. So I like to swing trade it as opposed to day trade it because the moves happen overnight. And if you are going to do this, you want to buy time. At least buy 1 month out, allow it to play out because this is prone to gap ups and gap downs. So I believe that BABA from now to first week of November, BABA could be trading at 190, 192. And with the whole trade deal situation going up, I think that BABA is going to benefit from that. Chinese stocks in general are going to benefit and they are going to push to the upside. Okay. So BABA is one of them that I'm watching. I already have a position in this. I bought it here. Here, look at here, this place. The Friday, that's this Friday here. Bought it here. This was, I have the 170 calls expiring November 21st. So I'm still riding this wave. I'm looking for the bigger move to come. We shall see if we get that. Next one is Baidu. Baidu, this one. Yeah. This is the Google of China. And what's it called? Baba is the Amazon of China. So here I see this move here. I expect this to take up the lines. So we are curling here. We are holding the 50. I expect this to push, continue going up. We come here, we fill this gap, $132 gap, and then we push. Like Chinese stocks, they have too many gaps. It might not even fill the gap. It might just continue gap, and come here, right? Something like that. So yeah, so that's about it for tonight. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So if you have any questions in the chat, put your questions in the chat. So I present different tickers, different stuff, so that you can pick and choose what you want, because there are different traders on this live stream. Some people like to trade crypto. Some people like to trade commodities like gold and stuff. So I present everything. If you are a stock market person, you can focus on your ETFs and your stocks and trade them. So the purpose is that for you to pick and choose which one you like. It's like a buffet, right? It's like a buffet of opportunities. So if you go to the buffet, you can go and pick what you want. You don't go and eat everything at the buffet, right? So that's why I present here in this YouTube live stream, so that you can pick and choose what you like, and then you can use that. So also, if you're joining us, we see that 50% of the people that watch this channel have not subscribed yet. Please subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that anytime I go live, you are going to get the information. So every Tuesday and Thursday, I post educational videos, and in those educational videos, I put in high probability setups that you can take as a swing trade or as a day trade, and these stocks can move the following day. So make sure you checking in those videos. I talk about crypto, I talk about the stock market, I talk about commodities in there. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And yeah, so if you want to trade with us live, we have, so if you come to our website here, we have tradingrich.com. It's our website. So right here, come to tradingrich.com. Here you can join our free community, right? You can join our free community. We post a lot of golden nuggets, a lot of resources, a lot of videos that you can watch, master classes and stuff. You can click here and join. And if you want to be part of taking any of our courses, we have swing trading service. So if you want to make passive income in the market on a weekly basis, this is the service for you. Last week, we killed it last week, because last week, by Monday morning, by the time the Monday morning bell went, we were green in most of our swings, right? We had SPY, like we had SPY on the string. We had SPY, 670. Now SPY is here, right? We got this SPY here. This was here. We got SPY over here at 658, and we've been riding this. We're still holding runners. So we've captured 20 points on SPY, still holding SPY. We had IBIT. We got IBIT here. We rode IBIT. IBIT came in here. This 9%, 10%. We've been riding this up. We still have this, still holding this. It's riding up. We also had Baba. We also had Baba as well. Alibaba. Captured Baba here. Yeah, it's going up. We have, like, we also had Robinhood as well. We caught the Robinhood move. That was this was a Monday here. Caught this move here, and then we've been riding this up. So that was last week. This week here, we captured this Monday move on. We captured this move on Hood, and then we re-added here. We've been riding this up. This is going to push up. Still pushing this up. We also had Apple. We also traded Apple here. Apple was we caught that on the Monday. Yeah, on the Monday we captured this move here from here to here. This was a 150% return on investment, right? Approximately 150% return on investment just in one day of holding the swing. So if you're interested in a swing trading service that is fully guided with all the details, this is a service for you. Rich Alert. I'm going to post the link here in the chat. so that you guys can check it out. And I've already posted the tickets for this week. Those tickets are ready to go, and I don't discuss those tickets here in this live stream. So it's only for subscribers. So if you want to get the top 3 tickets for the week, I share that in this service. So how much does this service cost? It's very, very cheap. It's $47 USD per month. And if you want the yearly subscription, it's $480 USD. You get 2 months free. You just pay for only 10 months, right? Yeah. So here, members are killing it every week after week after week after week. We are killing it, right? So if you want to make money if you are busy with a 9 to 5, busy with a business, busy with other things, this is the service for you, right? And our win rate is really high. We have like a 90% win rate in these things, right? Most of our trades are green. And the ones that are red, we cut it off early. We get a small loss, okay? What's the next one here? If you want to trade with me on a daily basis, like if you want day trade with me, like you want to make money every single day in the market, this another service for you. This is the day trading service. This one is, I trade both options and futures, and we trade a specific strategy. We trade the first hour. We are specialists at trading the first hour of the market. So the first hour of the market, we trade this. And how much does it cost? This is also very affordable, right? 97 USD per month. I trade with you 20 days in a month. It's like there are 20 business days in a month, Monday to Friday, unless it's a statutory holiday. I trade with you every single day. And I don't just trade, I trade with you and I explain to you why you are entering the trade, why you should hold your trade, why you should stop out here, why you should take profit, every single thing. So this helps you to learn, okay? So if you're serious about learning about the market, day trading, this is the service for you. It's only for 97 USD per month. And this is a day trading service where you're actively trading. And then the yearly subscription is $970 USD per year. Okay. All right. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me check out the questions here. And I'm going to put this one here also in the chat so that you can check it out. And if you're interested, you can sign up and you join us tomorrow morning to trade the markets. Okay. So let me see. Are there any questions here? I don't see any questions here. Somebody say, how do we play? I think I've already explained that in the stuff. I say I'm going to use IBIT. I'm going to use IBIT to play that rally. IBIT is a Bitcoin ETF that tracks Bitcoin. So I'm going to get call options. We're already in the swing trading service. We already have a swing trade on this, which is going to be November 21st. I'm already in November 21st options, $65 calls, and we're going to ride it to the upside. Okay, you can also get December, or you can also get January, whichever one works for you, right? So, but this is how you can play it using the IBIT. You can buy shares, you can buy options, whichever one works for you. All right. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Any other questions? Any other questions here? Any other questions? All right, so it looks like nobody has any questions. So we shall meet again on Sunday night, next week Sunday night, and then we'll talk then. But those in our community, we are going to be trading. Those in the swing trading service will be swing trading tomorrow. Those in the day trading service will be day trading tomorrow as well. So have a good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And if you've not signed up, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification button. And then if you learn something from this YouTube live, put your comments in the chat so that I know that you learned something. And also, if you like it, just hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next video and the next live stream. Have a good night, guys. Have a wonderful week trading. All the best. Bye-bye. Have a good night.